Pittsburgh Her, what happens on Pittsburgh Her is voices meet sharp conversations. I literally put that through a ChatGPT to see what they would think of us. And that's what they said.
Nice.
They did. Look at ChatGPT, robots knowing. And now I know. I don't use it a lot. And I don't use images, just let's be clear. Anyway, this is a collaboration between Jagoff Media and Pittsburgh Magazine, bringing together women to talk candidly about the issues shaping our lives and how we can kind of balance life in general. So welcome, everybody. Jocelyn's not with us today. Every time Jocelyn's not here, did you notice we're like, surgery? It's not always surgery, but we just say that because none of us are ever going to be in surgery.
Well, and
we won't be performing.
Yes.
It is often, yeah. But she's not with us today, but the four of us think that we can dive into this very full bowl.
So full.
And we're excited.
Wow.
There you go.
Twinsies.
And there you go.
Socks.
Thank you for noticing.
I love it. So our topic today, before we go into that topic, but we like to have like a little candid conversation. What is a luxury that you refuse to let go? Just like a tiny luxury of yours. And it's funny that I found this question. Like I did like a randomizer to kind of see like what women, like a sort of just banter type question. And it's funny because I've been on this role where I'm like, I don't do much. I don't get my nails done and I don't this and I don't that. And then I was like, but what do I do? Like it was even when I was trying to, well, I was thinking about what can I give up for Lent, which is not this question, but it sort of like fell along that line, right? Of like, what can you give up as a luxury? And I decided that I have no luxuries. And my husband was like, she's taking herself off the cross again. And it's coffee. I literally cannot live without it. And so I did not give it up for Lent. I was going to, because it literally is that thing that I have to have.
Be a luxury?
I think.
It's like a necessity.
Even like
it is a luxury item. You don't
luxury,
have to
I
have
think.
coffee.
I don't
like,
drink coffee.
Like see?
Coffee out at a coffee shop?
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. For sure.
Okay.
So like I have my first cup at home at like 5 a.m.
Yeah.
And then when John picks me up to go to work, then I stop at one of my multiple places.
Okay.
Gotcha.
And then sometimes I walk across
to
to Brave Bean for yet another. Yeah. So that would be mine. Anyway, enough about me. Anyone else? Did you guys think about that at all? Bria, you don't drink coffee, so it's not that.
I like tea though. And we were just talking, I like coconut water.
Do you?
Yeah.
Why do you like that?
Hydrating.
Delicious.
I don't love coconut water.
Real water.
Yeah. I know. It's like beets. I want to like it. But
Yeah, I also same.
Oh, I love beets.
I want to love beets.
It's supposed to be good for hangovers, which my luxury is margaritas, so I should drink coconut water.
Anytime.
Is that your
like,
luxury? Okay. And you're saying coconut water is your luxury?
I think so.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You are in a good way, girl. You're in a good way.
Shout out to breastfeeding.
Yeah.
True.
For sure.
It's hydrating though. You know, you get all your electrolytes in a natural way.
Wow. Sarah.
Mine's also hydrating, but less natural than coconut water. I love these little packets called Nectar. We're not sponsored by Nectar, but
Or coconut water or margaritas or coffee.
And, right. But Nectar's like the brand.
Yes.
I've sampled lots.
I've seen
of
them.
And it's my fave. And my husband's always like, do we need this on Subscribe and Save? And I'm like, we do.
Yeah.
He's like, okay.
Yeah.
I love it.
Got it.
There you go. So we all have these little luxury vices and you need to have them in life. So I think it was Christy who brought up a really good point that not everyone knows steel magnolias. And it is not technically, we need to be very diverse. And the very first one had zero diversity if you think about like steel magnolias in general. Mm-hmm. And I'm so glad that you brought that up because I speak as I feel. I did not, as a white woman, did not realize that. And so I love that. Was it you or was it, obviously it wasn't Sarah because she's looking at me like I never heard this before. But there was a remake done that was more culturally inclusive.
Yeah, that's the one I see.
Yeah, right. And anyway, so we named it the Magnolia Bowl because it has magnolias. And so what we've decided is that we don't have to relate to anybody. We just need to use it as our topic bowl.
Yeah.
Which is full. It brings me joy. So, Bria, would you like to? Because I feel like you haven't read. I don't know because our episodes are sort of like all over the place.
I'm going to go from the bottom, see what happens down there.
All right.
I told Monica to put some good ones on the top. So, no, I'm just kidding. She didn't do it.
It's going to be like the worst one in there now. That's a good one. Okay. Are you a perfectionist? Do you recognize inherited patterns, or do you know where they came from?
Those are 3 separate questions.
And they are.
Okay, great.
I'm not a perfectionist.
Me neither.
I'm not, but I am close to it in certain things. Depends on what it's referring to. Like music, like I can be a perfectionist, or when it comes to my art and crafts and stuff that I do, like I can be a perfectionist. I don't think it's inherited. I think it just is like, if I'm doing something that I enjoy, I want it to be close to perfect.
Right.
Perfect doesn't exist, but in my mind it can sometimes.
Okay. So then you have tendencies to be a perfectionist.
Yeah, maybe close. That's a good way. But I'm not a perfectionist.
And then what was the rest of it?
Or do you recognize inherited patterns, and do you know where they came from? I know mines are not inherited. I don't have any perfectionist people around, I don't think.
So when you are talking about being a perfectionist in your art or in your music, you just think it's because why?
I think it's because you're trained to play music, like sheet music, classically trained. I'm trained to play what's on paper. So like if I don't, then it's like,
so that's the standard.
I mean, it's not like a perfect thing, but it's just, I think that's part of being a classically trained musician.
Okay.
Just a mentality of rehearsal and repetition and repetitiveness that comes with that. So it kind of makes you a little bit like mentally crazy.
Sure. Yeah.
So yeah, I think I incorporate that in all the other art forms that I do as well.
Are you one of those people though, that when you are engaged in art or music, that you're hearing someone else do it and you're kind of like,
absolutely.
Okay. Well, that's fair. Yeah.
Judgy? Yes.
No, but I think that's part of being, that you're being honest and saying that's where you're being a perfectionist. That's not judgy.
Yeah, that too.
Because if that's your craft, that makes sense, right? I mean, I would assume that's how you feel writing-wise.
Oh, yeah. And I feel like I'm a perfectionist, like when it doesn't even matter, like an Instagram post or something, which I have like 100 followers or something stupid. But like if it's
I'm
like
one of them.
If it's like thank you, I appreciate that. If it's like a movie quote, I have to get it exact. I can't I hate when people misquote a movie, especially one that I know. I'm like, that's not right. Like, or people like that write out the lyrics. Like, here's the lyrics to a song online, and they still mess it up. And they're wrong. Get it right.
Yeah. ChatGPT can help with that.
I hate computers.
I know. And wow. do you hate
Don't make me laugh. You know how much water I drank?
Do you hate ChatGPT? I know it's not the question, but
oh, I hate all of that. Of course. All of it.
But I do utilize it in a way like that is formidable to what I'm doing. Like I'm not the person, it's not writing things for me. It's not, but there are certain things that I will run it through for a tone. That kind of thing.
It can be a tool. I think that's what it's supposed to be.
Correct. That's exactly right. Yeah.
Abuse it, the Facebook pictures and everything else they complain about. And but it's a tool.
It's a tool.
I think it's okay for that.
So Christy, are you a perfectionist? Then you're saying yes.
In some ways, yeah. I mean, obviously not in how I dress, but
who says that?
Yeah, you look great.
You have waffle socks.
These are my Legos.
Lego my ego.
I love it. Okay. So I did this, Marilee Smith. Do you guys know Marilee? Okay. So she does something called Petite Retreat. And it is for women, and where she does, I'm going to screw it up. So go look at what she does, but essentially
not perfectionist.
Right. Well, interesting, because it's called the boardroom in your head. So she sort of explains that as women in particular, we have all these judgy 7 different board women living in our heads. Do you remember Herman's head? Like that kind of, okay. That's what I picture every time. Mm-hmm. And it's like defeat and fear and this and all these different things that you sort of do to yourself. And perfectionism is one of them, where perfectionism is born from one of these board members. And I listened to this whole Petite Retreat, and I left and I said to John, what the heck? And he was like, that's you, on so many things. And it was interesting to see someone else's perspective. And then I told my husband the same thing, and he was like, that's you. I was like, I guess you don't realize how, like what you guys are saying. In fact, I think it's one of her followers, someone who took her class who did that, because it's for women who don't really think that they are perfectionists. But like you both said, in certain areas, there's this need for perfectionism.
I don't have it, man.
I think you do. You are. When it comes to like getting your point, like you want it to be perfect. I think you're like that in a good way.
I feel like I'm so aware that perfect is not a thing.
Agree.
And that I'm much more driven by don't forsake like the good in the like seeking out the perfect.
Okay.
There's a saying there.
I know.
I'm talking about where people just like, they're like, no, man, that's good enough. Like, submit it and carry on. And they're like, no, but I got to rework this. And I got to redo that. And it's like, no, but you're going to miss your deadline and you have 7 other things to do. And it's good enough. I'm here as the champion for good enough. That's a good
teach me. Because that's true. Because if I'm such a perfectionist with sometimes the things I write, I can't even get started because I have to like have all these notes and I need like all the information and then I get just so overwhelmed that it just falls by the wayside. I don't even
get word that you've been looking at all day.
Yes.
I think I worked with a lot of people like that and it drove me so bananas and I ended up just doing things. No, because I was like in my 20s and it was a different time in the early aughts when I was working in New York and I didn't feel like I could be like, can you just do it?
Just do it. Yeah.
So I would just do it and not well, but I would give them like a springboard and I'd be like, okay, well, here's the seating chart with the schools kind of mapped out how I think they could go. And then they could be like, well, no, this school can't go here and that school can't go there. And then we got to put but it was like enough for them to move forward. And so I think that's how
you're very practical. You're one of the most practical people.
I'm very practical.
That's a good word.
Yeah. And same. And my point was, I'm a perfectionist, like what you guys are saying about certain things. But then like when it comes to other, like my family, I know my family, they'll be like, oh, how do you feel about this? I'm like, it's fine. Like you want them to know that there's room for error and that people make mistakes. And like you said, there's no such thing as perfect,
You got to get it done. That's maybe that's my perfect. Like I get really irritated when things aren't perfect because you didn't do it. And it's like, well, if you would have just done it, it would have been done and maybe not perfect, but it would have been done.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, your deadline perfect.
You're a perfectionist
squeaking
and a procrastinator.
Yes. That is what you are. I am only a procrastinator.
Yeah.
So I meet the deadlines 10 minutes before they're due with a B product.
All right. All right, there you go. All right, perfectionism is not a thing.
I was a C student in college, so I don't know what happened to that perfectionism.
Perfectionism is not a thing. Yeah, I agree. I think I don't. And one of you touched on this too. I think with age, we also realize that, what we thought had to be perfect earlier on, maybe you were saying in your 20s, like where you have that weird, like you don't want to say something because you know that there's this perception that something should be perfect. But then as you age and you realize it's not going to happen. So that practical reality, I think, sort of clicks as experience happens and you kind of go, it's not, you're like, it's fine.
Nobody knows how to do this? Oh. Shit. I'm supposed to be the one to show you how to do it?
We're in a bad way. Yeah. Well, there you go. So hopefully we answered that question. Perfectionism we don't believe in it. Ain't a thing. So we got a question. I want to make sure I say the person's name right. Jody Alanik from Verona wants to know about a dive location that turned out to be a favorite location of yours, Christy.
Brim's Return is in Troy Hill. And I was supposed to have it in the next issue, but it's going to be in the issue after that. But I printed it out anyway because I forget things. So Jeff and Melanie Fletcher are from Georgia, and they went to CMU, and they've went to a university around here, and they wanted to own a dive bar. So they bought it. Most recently, it was Tammy's Place, but it's been like
Where is it? Where's Tammy's Place?
It's on Getman Street in Troy Hill.
Oh, Troy Hill. You did say that. Yeah, yeah.
So it's been Jansax, Bummers, Orgles, Bullpen, Tammy's Place, and now it's Brem's Return. Brem is the name of Henry and Mary Brem, and they owned the building in the late 1800s. So this place is way haunted. So it's a dive bar, but now it's nice. It has pool table in the back. They have like chess nights on Wednesdays. They have really good food. Last time I was there, I like randomly saw some guy who was in Dawn of the Dead, and like we talked to her, you know.
That's so not like you.
Yeah, right. But it's just it's really small, but it's just really cool. And every time I go there, I sit at the bar and eat some food, and I always have like the best conversations with strangers. So it's like one of those places, like you walk in, you think, am I going to fit in? Like, is this weird? But it's awesome. I love it. And I love the people. They're so awesome. They really want to do good for the community. And Troy Hill's a really cool neighborhood. It's very walkable. So, and it's a great view of Pittsburgh. If you've never been up on Troy Hill, it's up past Penn Brewery. I think it's better than Mount Washington, in my opinion, but it's just a really different view of the city. But Brem's Return, it's a dive, but I'm partial to dive, so I like this one.
I love that. I love that we just found that out too.
I love that it's haunted.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yes.
Yeah. That's my vibe.
I hate haunting. You know, I won't partake. All right. Well, there you go. Learning all the things from us. So we want to hear from you, and we want to add to this amazing overflowing bowl. And we want something fresh, something new. So make sure you are following us wherever you get your podcasts, and you can check it out on the Jagoff website or Pittsburgh Magazine's website every other Tuesday. And Sarah, see you next.
Are you going to say it?
I'm not doing it. Sarah, it's yours. Go, Sarah.
See you next Tuesday.
Bye.
I was like,
I know.